So earlier in the week, I got a new flatmate. He was as big as a cat, as hairy as a cat, and had twice as many legs as a cat. I named him Chris Hemsworth, the Huntsman. Chris appeared in the corner of my kitchen ceiling and would disappear on occasion, only to reappear in a different room the next day. Not seeing a huntsman in the kitchen is infinitely more terrifying than seeing a huntsman in your kitchen. Where has he gone? So on Sunday, Chris was off taking a nap somewhere whilst I was doing the weekly cook-up. This inevitably led me to needing the first aid kit. As I grabbed the kit off the top of the cupboard, I felt something give my finger a tap.
Yuck.
When I looked, I realised it was Chris, tapping my finger with one of his many hairy, terrifying long legs, the look in his eyes, and the "you get one warning, lady." Naturally, I dropped the kit and did the one-legged dance favoured by those in the presence of predators, and once I'd calmed down and realised that Chris had held onto the box with 5 of his legs, he was using one of the others to smoke a cigarette, and the last 2 to sharpen his prison shiv. I realised that I could use this opportunity to relocate him outside. I picked up the box, headed to the front door, and this is where we both got an education.
Oh, no, not again.
Did you know that huntsman spiders can jump? They spread their legs and glide, eagle-like, with sniper precision, aiming for the face of their assailants.
No!
To see this baseball glove of an assassin hurling towards my face, I did the very practical manoeuvre of throwing the first aid kit up in the air, squealing like I was being murdered, and flapping my arms around. Chris had luckily landed on my chest. And as ample as it is, he thankfully slid off and landed on the floor. So naturally, he charged at me, and this is when my legs decided that...
Hang on, so he's fallen off, and now he's lined her up and he's going to go again.
Yeah.
He has been working out.
So naturally, he charged at me, and this is when my legs decided that now was a good time for running. I sprinted across the bloody savannah like a rhino was chasing me and dived headfirst through an open window of the semi-trailer truck that we were living in. So as I looked down at the 8-legged death cat that literally made a thudding noise as it landed on the floorboard, I amazed both of us when I dropped into fight mode and kicked it out the door. This thing was big enough that I could kick it, and not only did it did I not squish it to death, it actually bounced off the opposite wall and ricocheted back towards me, landing in another spider's web. Now, it was his turn to do the one-legged dance as he freaked out because he had a spider web on his face. Unfortunately, in his panicked attempt to free himself, he ran back inside my house. And in my panic state to free myself of this bloody spider, I kicked him again. I'm not up for hurting animals. I'm totally pro-cat, just like you guys. Sometimes kind of pro-spider. But this thing was giving me the heebie-jeebies. Thankfully, this time he ricocheted off into a potted plant and decided to call it a day, scuttling behind the pot and hiding from my terrifying thong-clad foot. And give this tough mofo his dues. He took 2 kicks to the face and even bounced off 2 walls. Other than that, seemed pretty sweet as. Now, to add to my dilemma, the first aid kit was now sprawled all over the stairs, and knowing that spider, he'll work out how to get the child lock off the OxyContin bottle then I'm screwed. Laura Wicks, that is a great contribution. What a yarn.
Serious question.
Can they open bottles?
Have you seen a huntsman smoking a dart?
Yeah, all the time.
If you were to go out dating again and you had to do a dating profile on, whatever app, and it was extremely honest, what would it read like? That's the question we've asked. How's this? Pretty much average. Won't impress, however, also won't disappoint. Gets better after 4 or 5 beers. Goes downhill fast after 9 or 10.
G'day, I'm Hamish. I spent $16,000 on a mountain bike. 1974 vintage model, 1 long-term owner. Could use some panel and paint touch-ups and long overdue for a good service.
Oh, that's good.
Freehold house and boat, but bald and ugly.
You know what you'd probably do way better?
Totally.
Second-hand Mervinator up for grabs. Up for grabs. Apply music and alcohol, and away it goes. Good as new. That last bit was a lie.
This This one is a cracker.
Oh my God.
It might not be 12 inches, but it smells like a foot. This one here is from Ian Elder in Blackpool over in the UK. Fellas, I'm a builder with a usual white van and often picked up my friend on the way to jobs. I'm a bit of a chocoholic, and one of my favourite munchies was Maltesers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
On the way to pick up my friend, I had a pack of Maltesers on the passenger seat. I opened the bag, which unfortunately tipped over. Some stayed on the seat, some rolled over my jumper and gloves, and some fell on the floor, which I quickly rescued and ate. It was my mission to eat the whole pack before I had to share them with my friend. My friend got in the van, and on this occasion, he brought the love of his life, his boxer dog. I didn't particularly like him bringing his so-called baby. She was a boxer dog, which would slobber all over my jumpers, all my paperwork on the seat. And on that day, we did the job we had to do, and then I dropped them off along with his beautiful pooch. On the way home, I discovered there was a slightly squashed Malteser on my jumper.
Uh-oh.
I picked...
Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
This could be the day.
Uh-oh.
Look how sweaty my hands are. I know where this is going. I don't like it.
Finish him.
I picked it up and threw it straight into my mouth with a smug look, knowing his dog had missed one. It was a little bit soft. But this was expected, as my friend had probably sat on it. After a few seconds of chewing, I realised something was wrong. I had a bit of a bad taste. I had a bit of a bad taste. So I never really thought about it again. Can we just wrap it up? I can just give you a brief synopsis of what has happened here. And then it hit me. It tasted like dog shit. I quickly...
How do you know what that tastes like?
I quickly reached into my mouth to scoop it out. I then took a mouthful of water and spat it out into the cup. The water... Oh, fuck this. Oh my God, it's not going to make it. I can now... I can smell it. I'm not going to be able to finish it. I'll spew and I'm sweating like a... Oh, Christ. Oh my gosh. I could now smell this, which confirmed my theory that, yes, this was indeed dog shit that I'd put in my mouth. In a rage, I pulled over and immediately rang my friend to explain what had happened. Following the recovery of his laughter, he explained that sometimes when it has a... It rolls up and eggs up to the ears of its ass off. I'm done. I'm fucking done. No. Oh, shit. Sorry. Oh, I'll wrap it there. That's a hell of a snacksident. Hell of a snacksident. I've got like under tit sweat right now. Oh, mate, that's only halfway through.
That is one of the
Far out. That is pure cruelty. It's as close to bullying on the show as it gets.
I was hoping for A, and I got poo. To quote Showboss Teagues, finish the story, don't be a little bitch. After a few seconds of chewing, I realised something was wrong. It had a bit of a bad taste, so I never really thought about it and continued to chew away on the Malteser. Then it hit me. It tasted like dog shit. I quickly reached into my mouth to scoop it out, as it was stuck to my back teeth. I then took a mouthful of water and spat it out into the cup. The water was dirty and pretty shitty brown colour. I could now smell it, which confirmed my theory that yes, this was indeed dog shit.
In a rage, I pulled over and immediately rang my friend to explain what had happened. Following the recovery of his laughter, he explained that sometimes when his dog has a poo, it rolls up and hangs onto the hairs of its ass, which is called a shit nugget. Okay, changing my frame of mind on this. This is a funny story. It's not a disgusting story. As he continued in a spate of laughter, I put the phone down on him. I looked in my side mirror and I could see shit was the whole... I could see that shit was stuck in between my teeth. Oh, I doubt I felt sick. I was able to flick some out with my fingers, but they now smell like shit. Oh. This is so hard. Okay, the tape.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't know why I would, but I put my, oh my God, what is going to happen next? I tried to floss it out. The floss kept coming out. It was not working. Oh, far out. This is just absolutely unbearable. I don't know why I would put it next to my nose and smell the floss, but I did. I went to a shop praying that no one would speak to me about a can of Coke to wash the taste away. This clearly did not work as I was washing my mouth with dog shit and Coke. The taste and smell was so bad, I was standing over a grid and spitting the Coke and dog shit out of my mouth. Unfortunately, my taste buds must have kicked in, and I was sick down the grid. I remember seeing an old lady looking at me in absolute disgust, and to this day, I've never had another can of Coke. I had to get home, certainly before the wife gets in, as she may go for a kiss as soon as I... Oh, imagine that! Oh, imagine that! Alrighty-o. As soon as I got home, blah, blah, blah. Again, this wasn't easy. Every time I put the brush in, it stayed brown, and I was pushing the shit around my mouth. I went through all the toothbrushes in the house and a bottle of mouthwash. So my so-called friend would have had great pleasure telling the story to anyone he would meet. You would see women back off me with a disgusted look. I was that person to avoid at a New Year's party. I would be lucky to get a hug. The end. Holy hecker. That is the wildest roller coaster ride I've ever been on.
That is so grim.
There you go. Rachel is sick. Perfect. Thank you very much. Took on for the team, Rachel. Appreciate you. You get in touch with your union rep. That's not fair, boys.
These are things that you shouldn't have had to explain to an adult, but you did anyway.
My friend, who's 26 years old, asked if we could do a weekend trip to Hokitika. We had to then explain to her that it's on the west coast of the South Island and we live in Thames. Not impossible, but pretty tricky. This one here from Paul in Lancashire. Whilst preparing to go whitewater rafting on the Zambezi River in Zambia, I had to explain to some American tourists in our group that the boulders at the side of the river went all the way to the bottom, and that they were not just, as they thought, floating rocks like at Disney World. Later that day, after some world-class rafting, I found one of the Americans looking behind some rocks by the side of the river. I asked him what he was looking for. He replied, "My kit bag. I put it there before we set off. However, we are now about 15 kilometres downstream from where we started." He thought the Zambezi went round in a circle like a Disney ride. My partner and I are trying for a child, but she's unable to produce eggs. As a result, we're looking for an egg donor. After speaking to my mother about this very sensitive issue, I was left a bit startled when I had to explain to her that my sister probably wasn't the best choice of egg donor. Liam Linklater, my girlfriend just found out that phone reception doesn't come from the power lines outside our house. Oh, jeez. Whilst searing a joint of beef at my ex's house, her unemployed, layabout, thick, unintelligent 17-year-old son came into the kitchen. He said that he felt cold when she noticed her little munchkin hadn't come home for his nibbles. "What are you doing?" "I'm cooking." "Cooking what?" I replied, "Chicken," and laughed. He noticed my smile and said, "No, really, what was it? What is it?" "Beef." "Beef? What animal does that come from?" "A cow." "Cow? Don't treat me like an idiot. You can't cook cow."